Alright, so this is me walking you through my process in terms of making art. So I'm starting off here with a new canvas. I like to draw in the aspect ratio of 4 by 5 or 8 by 10 because this is the aspect ratio that Instagram allows you to post photos. It's an auto crop. It's the maximum height you can get on Instagram, which is why I go with this aspect ratio. Now here I'm drawing a person on Twitter who did this cosplay of Sanji, and I thought it was really cool and I wanted to draw it in my style. Now what I'm doing here is I'm laying down a sketch. It's very rough because I'm gonna do a line art on top of that. And what I usually do is I like to flip it so that it's easier to draw for me. As you can see, the original reference photo was actually flipped, so I flipped it around to make it more accurate to what Sanji looks like. But in order to draw actually this person, I had to flip it around again so that I could be more comfortable drawing this side of the face. And then I flip it back over to draw the earrings and then the details of the hair. Now one of the reasons I chose this particular photo to draw is because I thought the hair just looks so good and I really want to draw it in my style. It's so unique and I think it really works as a female version of Sanji. Especially this version of Sanji I think looks really, really cool. Now here I'm just drafting in the clothes. I'm making it nice and loose. Very simple, very basic shapes. I don't want to put too much detail because it's clothes. It's not the main focus of the drawing. The main focus is obviously the face and the hand. Now here I actually spend 20-30 minutes on one hand. It's so much work and it's so hard to get perfectly right. And here I tried so many different ways to do this hand. Resized it, I tried to draft it out with the red pen. I think it looks okay here, but I was trying to figure out how it would fit with the other arm. As you can see, I just trying to get the size right. It's not working out, so I tried to go again. I realized there that I drew on top of the line art layer, which is why I had to redraw these aspects, which is really annoying because you imagine you draw in the one layer and goddamn, I have to redraw the whole thing. So here I'm trying to do a basic box to figure out what the hand would look like, and then this also was such a struggle. I'm drawing these fingers, why do they look so fat and ugly? And then I tried flipping the canvas, try and draw it, and still is not coming out right. I'm just oh my god, this hand is impossible to draw. And then here I'm trying to fix up the hand, the palm. I'm I give up. I'm gonna try to trace the photo, and I trace the photo, and it still doesn't look right. I'm oh my goodness, this is absolute hell. I cannot get this hand right. Not just the hand, but the way it connects to the arm and the forearm. Yeah. So here you can see me tracing of the photo, and then when I put it on top of the actual drawing, oh no, the forearm's too short. Her arm is lifting. And that's too short. It's not looking right. So then what I did after this is I actually took a photo of my own arm in this position, and I used that as a reference instead. So you can see me trying to figure out the elbow and everything, and it's not working out. I'm should I include the watch as well? No, I didn't want to include the watch. I didn't think it looked very good. Yeah, and so I thought this part of the drawing process was definitely the most frustrating. Hands are hell. Hands are so unpleasant to draw. Oh my goodness, they're very, very, just the worst. No artist likes drawing hands. Yeah, so here I decided to draw in the sleeve to the end of the wrist instead of adding that watch in. And I think it works. And here what I'm doing is I'm actually masking out the part of the previous drawing that is under the hand, and then I deleted it. And then what I'll do here is I'll take the lasso tool and then I'll go around and fill in the silhouette. And then this is the other method which I might use for a more detailed drawing, is where I'll fill in the outer line so that I can get a nice, very clean, very tight silhouette. But I went with the original silhouette I made to make it nice and loose and not too serious. And so here I'm cutting out the parts of the character, which will be skin color, and then just testing out different colors, which ones I like, which ones I don't like. And then here I'm doing the base color for the shirt and the sleeves, which is nothing fine. The vest is black. Now I'm focusing on the face, where I'll do the eyes. And I was debating whether or not to give this version of Sanji blue eyes, because I always imagine he has blue eyes, even though in the anime it's like just a dot. But I always imagine he has blue eyes because he's blonde, and he's French. But this version, obviously, I think, the brown eyes makes more sense. Now this hair, I think, just looks so pretty, and it's one of the reasons, which I wanted to draw this reference photo. The hair just looks so nice. And then here's me indicating that the light's going to be coming from the top right. So I'm just masking out the shapes of the shadows with the lasso tool. The shadow is going to be in the bottom left because the light's coming in from the top right. And then I'm doing the highlights. And the highlights here I use as a lighter sort of color, but I ended up realizing I didn't like the color that I used. It's too green. It's kind of like greenish, and it looks weird. So here I'm just filling in a bit lighter shading. And here you can see me trying to figure out the highlight color, and you see me realize I hate this. So I just started again pretty much with these highlights. Just did them an entirely different color. These are me doing the more detailed highlights. Still, they don't look right, which is fine. And then I'll do the eyes. The eyes, I think, are really fun to add details for. And the lips as well, especially when you make them nice and juicy. Very satisfying. Very nice to look at. Now here I'm adding a subtle eyeshadow. It's a nice soft pink, which I think works with this character that I'm doing. And then these are little bits of darker shadows to give the sense of ambient occlusion, which is the parts of an object or a person that will not receive light at all. So it's the darkest spots of an object. Now I'm doing the hair. As you can see, when I'm doing the coloring for any of my artworks, I like to do it in sections. So I'll tend to do the skin first or the hair first, because it's just the way I work. And then the hair, I'll do highlights, and then I'll do a general lighter highlight to graduate, to have the colors to gradate a bit more, so less jarring. And then she has this nice cigarette earring there, which is really cool. In the reference photo, she doesn't have any nail paint, but I thought it'd be a nice addition, and I made it the same color as the lipstick because I thought it would work. And I think it looks pretty good. I guess it's a little confusing from a distance now that I look at it, but as you can see, I'm adding the stripes on the shirt. I always imagine the suit shirt to be a little bit oversized, which is why the shoulder comes down like that. But I think it works with the shading and the lines and stuff. And then this last bit of shading, which is doing the vest. A little bit of highlight, a little bit of shadow. Very simple, very easy. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a bit of edge light on the other side of the shadow. What this does is kind of adds a bit more dimension to the drawing, and I think it really works like this. And then I add that nose ring, which is in the reference photo, with just solid white, and then doing the rest of that edge light. And then I'm just coming up to the end of this. I'm just adding a solid blue as the background because it contrasts nicely with the yellow and the orange, and obviously adding smoke for the cigarette. Speaking of, I thought the crocheted smoke was really cool in the original reference photo. It's so unique, and you never really see that. And then there's me adding my signature, or my seal, which is my Chinese name. And then just cleaning it up, adding a bit of effects to make it a bit more poppy. And that's about it.